the enthralling and suspenseful murder mystery And Then There Were None, penned by the renowned author Agatha Christie, intricately weaves a captivating narrative around the lives of 10 unsuspecting individuals. These individuals, enticed by deceitful promises, are lured to a remote and isolated island. The guests, who are completely unaware and burdened by a haunting secret from their past, quickly come to the bone-chilling realization that they have been trapped on the remote island, with no possible way to break free. As the narrative continues to unravel and the storyline becomes more complex, the primary protagonists discover themselves caught up in a complex network of allegations. An eerie and mysterious voice, whose true identity remains concealed, directs its accusatory finger towards them, asserting their complicity in a vast array of criminal activities. These grave and deeply troubling accusations encompass a range of sinister charges, among which is the most alarming allegation of being directly accountable for the untimely and tragic passing of a considerable number of individuals. In a methodical fashion, one after another, every single guest is mercilessly murdered, following a haunting nursery rhyme famously referred to as 10 Little Soldiers. As the tally of fatalities continues to rise, the remaining individuals become increasingly distrustful of each other, slowly but surely realizing the unsettling truth that the killer hides among them. As tensions continue to rise and trust diminishes, the bewildered and apprehensive guests are caught in a race against the clock, desperately trying to solve the mysterious puzzle of the killer's identity. As the night continued, the atmosphere inside the magnificent mansion became more and more fraught with tension. The few guests who were left, consumed by fear and suspicion, gathered closely together in a desperate search for comfort and reassurance. Every single one of them was filled with a sense of dread, waiting anxiously for the chilling voice to shatter the silence once more, unveiling yet another accusation. As the hours ticked by, the unsettling voice grew increasingly louder and more ominous, tormenting the guests with cryptic messages and unsettling hints, instilling a sense of dread and unease. It appeared to possess an uncanny ability to unearth their most concealed truths, delve into the hidden recesses of their lives where secrets were buried, and expose the transgressions they had committed in the shadows. As the guests attempted to connect the pieces of the puzzle, they gradually came to the realization that the accusations held some truth. Every individual harbored a shadowy history, a wrongdoing they had desperately wished to conceal indefinitely. However, at this moment in time, it appeared that the consequences of their wrongdoings had finally come knocking on their doors. In a cruel twist of fate, each one of them was gradually ensnared by the merciless grip of destiny, succumbing to its relentless power. One after another, the eerie nursery rhyme of the voice reverberated, resonating through the labyrinthine corridors, serving as a harrowing reminder of the diminishing count of those who had managed to escape the clutches of impending doom. The hapless guests found themselves utterly devoid of any means to elude their imminent demise, ensnared within the confines of the grand estate alongside an unyielding murderer. A pervasive sense of terror engulfed their very beings, while doubt and mistrust insidiously permeated their thoughts, poisoning their every interaction. As the haunting voice continued its sinister whispers, friendships gradually transformed into alliances of convenience, driven by the shared desperation of each individual to unmask the mysterious identity behind the gruesome murders and decipher the motive lurking in the shadows. Despite their best efforts, the guests found themselves unable to shake off the unnerving sensation that they were constantly being controlled, as if the voice orchestrating their every move was perpetually a step ahead of them. It appeared as though it possessed an uncanny awareness of their every action, their every intention, and employed this profound understanding to meticulously arrange their downfall with an eerie level of accuracy. As the number of casualties continued to increase, the remaining individuals came to the realization that the sole means to bring this horrific ordeal to an end was by bravely facing and addressing the ghosts of their own personal histories. In the face of their haunting reality, they were compelled to confront the harsh truth, humbly acknowledge their wrongdoing, and embark upon a profound journey of seeking atonement for the grave transgressions that had led them to this fateful and pivotal moment in time. Engaged in a frenzied race against the relentless passage of time, the few remaining guests plunged deep into the recesses of their minds, painstakingly untangling the intricate threads that bound them to the enigmatic voice and the heinous crimes for which they stood accused. With every new piece of information that came to light, they gradually moved nearer to uncovering the truth. But unfortunately, they also unknowingly approached their own downfall. Ultimately, as the sole remaining survivor found themselves standing in solitude, the concealed voice finally made itself known. The realization that washed over them was both bone-chilling and unnerving. For the individual responsible for levying the accusations against them turned out to be none other than someone from within their own ranks. The voice emanated from an individual who had personally borne witness to the unspeakable atrocities committed by every single guest. An individual who had made a solemn promise to ensure that they would face the consequences of their actions and be held accountable for their crimes. In the ultimate and decisive encounter, the sole survivor stood steadfast in front of their accuser, fully prepared to embrace whatever destiny had in store for them. However, rather than seeking retribution, the accuser's voice unexpectedly extended an olive branch of pardon, displaying a remarkable act of absolution. The game, which had been played out in a convoluted manner, served as a method to compel the attendees to face their transgressions and actively seek absolution. As the night gradually drew to a close, the grand estate remained hushed, concealing its enigmatic truths within its very structure. The survivors, who had undergone a profound transformation as a result of the events that transpired, departed with an entirely fresh perspective on the significance of existence and the repercussions that arise from their choices and behaviors. As the tension hung heavy in the air, both parties locked eyes, their gazes reflecting a mixture of trepidation and determination. The accuser, though wounded and scarred by the injustices they had suffered, found a newfound strength within themselves. They had endured the pain and anguish, but now they saw an opportunity for healing and closure. In a voice trembling with vulnerability, the accuser spoke, their words reaching out like a fragile olive branch. "I have carried the weight of anger and bitterness for far too long, but today, I choose to release it. I offer you my forgiveness." The accused, taken aback by this unexpected act of grace, stood speechless for a moment, their eyes widened with disbelief, unsure of how to respond. They had prepared themselves for the wrath of their accuser, but instead, they were faced with mercy. Tears welled up in the eyes of the accused as they struggled to find the right words. Finally, they whispered, "I am truly sorry for the pain I have caused you. I cannot undo what I have done, but I promise to spend the rest of my life making amends." In that moment, the weight of guilt and remorse lifted off the accused's shoulders. They realized that the path to redemption lay not in seeking retribution, but in embracing the opportunity to change and make things right. Together, the accuser and the accused embarked on a journey of healing and transformation. They set aside their differences and worked tirelessly to rebuild the broken pieces of their lives. They became allies, supporting each other through the darkest moments, offering solace and understanding. Their story spread like wildfire, inspiring others to follow in their footsteps. The powerful act of forgiveness became a catalyst for change. As people began to understand the transformative power of absolution, it was a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable pain, there was always a possibility for redemption and healing. As time passed, the wounds of the past slowly faded, replaced by a shared purpose of fostering compassion and understanding. The accuser and the accused became advocates for forgiveness, spreading their message far and wide. They spoke at conferences, wrote books, and used their experiences to bring about positive change in the world. Their journey served as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It showed that even in the darkest of times, forgiveness could prevail and pave the way for a brighter future. And in the end, the accuser's act of absolution not only granted the accused a second chance but also brought them both a profound sense of peace and redemption.